At least 20 people are dead after a bus in which they were traveling collided with another on the Tamale-Kintampo road. About 45 others are said to have sustained various degrees of injuries in a head-on collision involving two buses at Sarichekua, a farming community near Fufoso in the Savannah region. All bodies, including the drivers from both vehicles, 12 males and 4 females, including a child, have been deposited at the Buipe Polyclinic mortuary. Isaac Nonya is our correspondent on the ground. He's joining me with more. Hello, Isaac.
Good evening.
Isaac, what more have you been able to gather about this accident?
Yes, the latest on the ground from the Buipe Polyclinic is that a feeding mother and her child condition is getting bad, and they have to refer them to a Tamale teaching hospital for tertiary medical attention. As of those who are currently at the Buipe Holistic Medicare, we are told 5 additional people who were admitted earlier and I also plan to also move them to join their colleagues at the Tamale teaching hospital because their cases are becoming unbearable for them to be able to contain.
What has the police been saying? Do they have an idea what actually happened?
Yes, the police PRO, Inspector Owusu Ajokum, attributed the accident to a fatigue, a situation he thinks is not regrettable to the extent that transport owners or unions should have followed the footsteps of that of the State Transport Union Corporation, STC, where they will have two drivers. In the situation where one is tired, he's being substituted by the second person, and this will ease safe traveling to wherever they are going. But in the case of the private transports, you have a single driver. In the case of Zebula, a driver would drive this car from Zebula alone up to Kumasi or Accra, and then the vice versa. So in the situation where he or she is tired, you expect the tow to happen. So he's calling on transport union and the car owners to be able to get the double system drivers, as he said, so that when they're going, there will be a point that a driver will rest and the other one take over to be able to have a smooth sailing to wherever they are going. Until that is done, he said the police will have to take a second look with their partners to make sure they enforce this particular thing. That will go a long way to help everybody on the road. Now, he was also pointing at the fact that just 2 weeks ago, a similar incident happened where 6 passengers lost their life on the same stretch of road in between Buipe and Tamale. And this will be the second time within 2 weeks. The police says the time has come for them to act with their partners to make sure that they protect travelers and then passersby on the roads.
The eyewitnesses who were there, what else do they say? I mean, what did they see?
Yes, this woman, Amina said she was on board the car from Kumasi going to Garu, but the realized, according to her own testimony, she thinks the driver was dozing, and for that the car veered off halfway from the road. So while it was still on the road, part of it outside the road, that of the one from Zebula the U-turn, it was like that driver too didn't see earlier, or he too was dozing. Then he collided with the first car that veered a bit away from the road, and that resulted in an accident. To her, she thinks that the 2 drivers were dozing.
Wow. Well, as we speak now, I mean, can you give us an idea of what the accident scene looks like? Has it been cleared? Is traffic moving?
The traffic is moving, but it's slow because what the Ghana personnel from the Ghana National Fire did, which is the Yoma job, they were able to cut open and remove and rescue some of the human beings who are now we call dead bodies. But we are told there were some that they were investigating that they will still be under. a place that they would not have the instrument to be able to reach, to be able to find out whether there were still bodies, whether able or dead, still trapped there. So the cars that are coming from Kumasi in particular, are the majority, are not having a sail way. There's a little bit of traffic between the Buipe toll booth and the Buipe township due to what is happening at the accident scene. We are being told that between now and 4 p.m., the road will be cleared and vehicular movement will be smooth and back to normal.
Thank you very much, Isaac. Hopefully we will be able to follow up on these people and find out who the people are, the people involved in this accident, so that they don't remain statistics. But that is why I'm raising, Isaac, thank you. I'm raising the Alexander Ayata, the Regional Road Safety Director for the Northern and Savannah region, who was at the scene earlier. Ms. Ayata, thank you for your time. What did you see when you went there?
Hello?
Yes, Ms. Ayata, I hear you. What did you see when you went there at the scene of the accident?
Good afternoon. Yes, as I got there, everything has been cleared, and in fact, the injury has been taken them to various hospitals and clinics. Then, of course, CTH for those of them who were seriously injured. And when I reached there, everything was okay, except that, of course, if you see the nature of the accident, it would really ring a bell that, of course, people have died. And what I have gathered so far, when I got there, only some few people were there to pick their luggage, and then about 7 kids were waiting to hear from their parents. And thank God, some of them had their relatives who were there to assist them. And as I visited the place and proceeded to the police station, the fire service, they did a good job. They were called almost around 12:45 a.m., but I believe that the accident occurred almost after 12:30 thereabouts. So when they reached there, they were able to do a good job. In fact, the unfortunate thing is that immediately they rescued those who were trapped, and the fact that, of course, at the end of the day, 16 died at the spot, and later on, 1 died at TTH. And out of the number 60, from what I have been given videos, records, and pictures, 60 injuries. And the difficulty is that they were unable to really get each of the numbers of the various cars. And let me indicate that AC 169920 was from Kumasi going to Garu. That collided with GT 3345 16, going from Zebila to Kumasi. They are communities, and I can say they are almost closer. Where Garu and Zebila in Upper East, they are very close. And I tell you, of course, the situation isn't good at all.
Yeah. Let me just clarify. Let me just clarify this. Initially, what we heard was that 45 people have been injured. Did you just say that that number has changed from 45 to 50?
Yes, because sometimes when the people who do not have the facts try to reach out to the media, they give numbers that, of course, I got them myself, and I contacted the fire service regional commander, who were the first people to be contacted, and they got there, they did the rescue, they did all that was needed. So I got exactly, and of course, the police also take their information from them as well. So there are 60. And what I'm told is that when they counted all of them for the 2 vehicles, there were 108 people. And out of that, 16 died on the spot, and later on, 1 died. So 17 were killed. Then 60 injuries. This is what I got. But of course, I read somewhere else that the people were saying 45. People even said 70 people died. So let's get this one right. And of course, I know eventually we will go there to investigate. A team will be sent to do the investigation. Then we'll confirm everything for you.
When is that investigation happening?
Sooner or later, because it has just occurred. So we will have to constitute a team that will be led by the National Safety Authority, so that we will do that. But let me make a remark here.
One would have thought that, just a quick follow-up, one would have thought that you'd already have such a team to follow up on such incidents when they occur. It
will happen. And let me indicate that I just had a call from the MP for Zebila the Member of Parliament to ascertain the situation. And let me say that for almost 4 years now, the raw cause of accident that occurred there is from Upper East region. And frankly, it's also from the same area, either Garu or Zebila. And the fact is that because of the timing and whenever they are tired, what we've seen is that the one coming from Kumasi fell asleep, according to one of the victims. And because of that, of course, the collision occurred. And for almost 4 years, our study on that particular place indicated that accidents occur, particularly just for those drivers from Upper East. And the fact that when they are traveling in, instead of them to, at least for every 4 hours of drive, they must stop and rest for 30 minutes, it is not done. And I think that we need to look at it seriously.
What is your outfits, the road safety outfit, doing about this problem that you have clearly outlined?
Yes, we have always been to the lorry stations. We have had meetings, stakeholder meetings. We spoke to them that they must also have 2 drivers, so that at least when one is tired, the other can take over.
And is that working? Is this intervention working?
It is not. And I think that we need to enforce the law. The law must be applied strictly so that we can save human lives. Of course, we need to wake up. Just like all of us are fighting against COVID-19, we must all come on board. I am happy the MP for area had to call me, and we're looking at this seriously. I want to say that, of course, sometimes these drivers must be checked. The moment they even stop for a rest, they decide to take certain things to keep them up. And I think that is wrong. They don't even rest for 30 minutes. I will need to enforce that law so that every 4 hours of driving, you must just rest for 30 minutes. It's mandatory.
Right.
And all of us have to ensure this so that together we can arrive alive.
Ms. Ayata, we will talk to you again after the investigation. We're very much looking forward to that. Often we're told that, investigations are ongoing and we don't get to hear anything subsequently. But I'll take you on your word for that.
You can trust me. I think that we'll do this one so that at least we don't continue to see all these acts of indiscipline on our highways. Very well,
sir. When the investigation is done, we certainly will be there to share the information with the rest of the world. Thank you very much. Alex Ayata, the Ashanti Region Director of the National Road Safety Authority. May the souls of those who have died rest in peace. He actually represents both the northern and Savannah region. You know that region essentially has been split. So talking to us that he was actually on the scene and telling us what he saw. 16 people died on the spot. 1 more person died later, so 17 in all. Now 50 people are injured and they are being treated at the hospital.